All right, guys. I think we got it working now. All right. Can you guys hear me? Mic check. 1 2 1 2 1 2. We should be live right now. Are we? Yeah, there we go. All right, we're working. I didn't know what was going on. Honestly, I ended the stream. I know it redirected, all that good stuff. We're here. Okay, good. Again, major earnings today. Major earnings. We'll talk about the expectations today for these earnings coming out. But here's Microsoft. Here's Tesla. We also have IBM. We have Meta. I'm in Meta right now. I'm in a couple of these, really. 670s for Meta right now. 670s. I'll get a countdown going here live as well. Give me a second. Good. We're here. All right, cool. Again, Microsoft, Meta, Tesla earnings. Going live soon. Again, so I'm showing right now. Microsoft expected at 388. Meta expected at 821 EPS. Tesla expected at 45-cent EPS. Microsoft revenue expected at 80+ billion. Meta revenue expected at 58 billion. Tesla revenue expected at 25 billion. We also have IBM, we got ServiceNow, we got Celestica, and we're going to cover all this stuff. Again, we got IBM, we got Las Vegas Sands, Lending Cub, and more. We're going to cover all of it live. Again, Tesla. We'll put this up on the screen. Tesla expects 45 cents EPS on revenue of 45 billion. If we can fit Meta expects what? Meta expects 821 a share EPS on revenue of 58.4 billion. Take myself over here. Try to put this up so you guys can see it. Is the music a little loud? Tell me if it is. I can change it. Yeah, Tesla expects. Oh, that's better. Yeah, 58.4 billion. Let me do a poll here. Do we beat or miss? Can't say bubble if the earnings are double beat. Are you bullish or bearish on today's earnings? Again, tomorrow is Apple, right? So again, are you bullish or bearish on today's tech earnings? Put that up in chat. There's the list right there. Tomorrow, guys. So again, today specifically, Microsoft, Meta, Tesla, both of those drop right at the closing bell. Microsoft specifically at 4 p.m. Meta and Tesla at 4:05 p.m. technically, but honestly, they could release it any time. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to drop it right at 4:05. Sometimes they release it early. IBM at 4:10, Levi Strauss & Co. at 4:15, Waste Management at 4:30, United Rentals at 4:15. So a lot of stuff going live. And yeah. Is the music too loud? I can turn it down. Is it too loud? I guess is the question. It might be loud, but is it too loud? Good? Yeah, I'll cover all the stuff that drops. I'm literally going to cover everything that drops here. So, yeah, we're going to cover all of it. Don't worry. It's not like we're just going to ignore all the other ones. When the other ones come out, I'll tell you. We'll watch the price action as well. All right, guys. Hey, let me put a timer up. That's the one thing I forgot. We got a lot of stuff to do today. We've been streaming all day, bro. We had, this morning, we had our normal stream. We had the president speaking about Trump accounts midday. 2 p.m. we had the FOMC decision, 2:30 the press conference today, and now we got big tech earnings. I should have just streamed all day in one stream, but it's all right. Again, we have what, 30 minutes? Yeah, we got about 29. I'll put this up in the corner. The song is nice and calm. I kind of need it after the Fed meeting, like Saturday morning in the 90s. Yeah, we got the timer right there. Big tech earnings, 4 p.m. We got about 30 minutes. Home Depot cuts corporate jobs as housing market struggles. Again, Home Depot cutting corporate jobs. Does that benefit Home Depot? Still red on the day in stocks. I was really green this morning. Everything turned. Yeah, the AI thing is true, man. Again, AI is just going to replace... It's going to obviously cancel out jobs, but it'll create jobs as well eventually. It might take them longer to create jobs than it is to cancel out jobs, though. And I think that's a dynamic people miss sometimes. But it doesn't mean, like, look, again, the horse replaced, or the automobile replaced the horse or the carriage, right? Whichever way you want to look at it. I'm sure those people were unhappy when it happened, but more jobs eventually were created from the automobile industry than ever before with carriages or horses. So I think we should fear it to a certain extent, and I think fearing it is healthy and normal, but. Again, looking at our poll, 68% are bullish on big tech today. 68% bullish. Yeah, I saw I don't have text. It's all right. I don't need text. Text needs me. All right. No, I'm just joking. All right, let's see what we get today. We got 25 minutes left. After the FOMC decision, though, when do you guys think we're going to cut interest rates again? Again, Bitcoin's starting to break down if you look at it. So here's Bitcoin start to fall. 27 minutes for big tech earnings. Yeah, I mean, programmers are in trouble. Writers are definitely in trouble. Actors are probably in trouble, but I think that's a little bit longer out. So I think, obviously it's going to replace jobs. But it's also going to create developers, AI developers. Not the same thing as like JavaScript or React or Python or whatever programming language you like. From somebody that programs, like, I get it. It's going to replace jobs, but it's going to create jobs as well. The real reality of what this is going to mean is it's going to raise the standard of everything, including getting hired. The standard of getting hired is going to be raised. And so we're going to see some lower level people fall off because it's going to raise the standard. Obviously, they say people's IQ since AI go up 10 to 20 points. I don't know, maybe that much, maybe 5 to 10. But I mean, obviously, it makes people smarter. It makes people digest information faster. It makes querying things faster. So, right. Again, Tesla, Meta, Microsoft earnings 4 p.m. I take trades pretty regularly throughout the day. I think I'm red on the day actually today, but yeah, and here's Meta and Tesla. Which stock do you guys like more, Meta, Tesla? We also have Microsoft. Again, we also have IBM. Still need to know how to decipher the code it produces. That's true, but you could also take pictures of that and send it to programming or send it to AI as well, and it'll tell you what it means. So you still kind of do, but you're going to need it less and less, and I think that's very self-evident. That's obvious. All right, guys, so let's talk about these earnings today. All right, so Tesla. Street expects another down quarter on the core EV business. Quarter 4 revenue and EPS are both seen declining year over year. as deliveries and auto margins are staying under pressure, right? So both Tesla, or both quarter four revenue and EPS are both seen declining in this report. The pivot away from EV to AI, robotaxi, and robot company story, Cybercab, full self-driving progress, Optimus robot updates. Those are going to be the talking points today that you want to pay attention to, I think. A lot of valuation riding on autonomy rather than car units specifically, right? So licensing out full self-driving, robots, autonomous drivers, all this different stuff is going to be important today for Tesla in their earnings call. You want to look at the gross margin. It's expected to be squeezed into the mid-single digits by price cuts, competition, tariffs, and other stuff for Tesla. Options market pricing in a big post-earnings move. Elevated call activity signaling traders are in position for another high volatility reaction. And so we'll see if we get some big moves for Tesla today. Meta, about 20 to 21% revenue growth expected, with roughly flat to single-digit EPS growth as heavy AI and infrastructure spending eats into the bottom line. We're going to look for 2026 CapEx, not just for Meta specifically, but how it's going to affect the rest of the tech market and world and stocks and equities. How their CapEx, if they have more CapEx spending for AI, it might be seen as more optimistic for microchips and AI. If not, it could be seen as the opposite. But watch for, how aggressively Meta plans to spend on AI data centers, custom silicone, Reality Labs. Still talking up efficiency as well. Meta, you also want to pay attention to the ad business, expected to stay strong, solid pricing and engagement. Reality Labs is still a huge loss, multi-billion-dollar operating loss for Meta. So any talk of discipline, timelines to narrow losses, or monetization path is going to be a big talking point that might boost the stock. So we'll see if that happens. Well, for Microsoft, you want to look at maybe whether Azure is expected to grow as high as 30%. AI contributing to 22 to 26 percentage points of that growth, implying AI revenue run rate is near 25 to 26 billion. So potentially a big payoff for AI and Microsoft question if it does hit those numbers. Cloud margins as well. Wall Street headlines for Microsoft's expecting 15% revenue growth, high teens EPS growth. Again, but the real question for Microsoft is whether AI-driven cloud keep justifying the big CapEx that they've been having. So those are the big stories today for these numbers here. They drop in about 22 minutes. See what happens. Gold's been flying up. Meta and Microsoft. Meta, Tesla. But yeah, the Federal Reserve paused interest rates. Powell was pretty neutral, pretty data dependent. Didn't really commit to any big things here. And that's, again, I told you guys that's what you should probably expect with this. Bitcoin is still in a... Yeah, Bitcoin, I mean, I saw Bitcoin going down. I don't know what Bitcoin expected necessarily. Just because, Bitcoin wants easing. I don't think Powell, considering the context and the landscape of everything going on, was going to be a super dove today. I just didn't think he would. Rock video is now 10 seconds and the audio is greatly improved. Gold's still climbing. Look how sideways Meta is here. Tesla's a little bit more movement heavy. So is Microsoft. Gold up to $5,400 an ounce right now. Look at gold. $5,400 an ounce right now. Look at some of these moves here. Those are crazy moves. Again, 20 minutes plus still till these earnings come out. And again, Tesla and Meta are scheduled for 4:05. Microsoft's scheduled right for 4. Yeah, but these are some crazy moves. These are not small. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to look at futures for gold. $53.75. Yeah, spot's slightly different. It's all good. It's still big numbers. The spot's still breaking all-time highs, just like gold futures are. So, again, here's the SPY right here. The SPY is virtually flat. It hadn't really done anything. Not even the Fed meeting moved the SPY very much. So the SPY is still virtually flat. What's up, Sam? Again, big tech earnings today. It's been a busy day, man. I haven't stopped streaming all day. I just drove back in from Baton Rouge yesterday, too, so... Ugh. Getting tired. Hey, the show must go on, guys. The show must go on. Let's see what happens. Again, skepticism for Tesla... Still here. Good sign. Gold might hit 5,400s today. China will rug pull soon. 20 minutes until silver. Yeah, it's been a long day, brother. I even ate my lunch here. Meta lost 10 billion on the metaverse. It's still shot up. Yeah, I mean, look, I almost wanted to buy metaverse. I always talk about, or not metaverse, meta. I always wanted to buy. I wish I would have gone back. I was nervous about meta right here. This is right here in the metaverse dip. Meta dropped down to $89 a share. I didn't end up buying it. It was too much of a dumpster fire at the time, to be honest. Like I had no interest in buying it. I wish I did though. This thing is up hundreds and hundreds of percent from that level. Look at that. October of 2022. This thing is wild. Up to 670s now. I'm in Meta though. I bought it at 600s. So I got an average price in Meta at $600 right now, roughly 600. So I got a pretty good entry nonetheless, but it's not as good as $89 a share. I got 600 a share. Still not bad right now though. I still made money on the dip then, but it wasn't in Meta. Yeah, it just wasn't in Meta. Up 700% since Jim Cramer cried on TV about it. I felt bad. I remember watching that Jim Cramer stream, and I really genuinely felt bad for him. Do I want to follow his stock picks? No. But I felt bad for him. Yeah, a lot of people talking about big option expiry as well. We'll see. Which one is more of a buy right now in your mind, Meta or Microsoft here? Again, Meta or Microsoft dip? What are you guys thinking? Or not Meta or Microsoft, Meta or Tesla? Microsoft, Meta. Microsoft, Tesla. Tesla. Yeah, well, Tesla got a little bit more underwhelming expectations here for it. Again, Tesla's expecting 45 cents a share EPS on 25 billion in revenue. Again, Meta's expecting 821 a share on 58 billion in revenue. Microsoft's expecting 388 on 80 billion in revenue, basically. So... And again, the big story with Tesla is robots. The next big money grab, when we're talking about AI, I've said this once and I'll say it again. If we're talking about artificial intelligence, the next obvious, clear money grab in markets is going to be robotics. All right, we have AI. AI is decent. It's only going to get better. The next step is to implant that AI into robots. Whether we're talking about humanoid robots, work robots, manufacturing robots, that's obviously the next step. And I think that's the next step technologically as well. It's the obvious step. And so, Tesla's earnings call, I think, is going to have a lot to do with that. Full self-driving, Optimus robots, robo-taxis. Because that's all different forms of it. Meta, Microsoft earnings will be interesting as well. But in terms of Tesla specifically, I think that's what you got to look for. All right, guys, closing bell in 15 minutes. Yeah, and I think that's the next big money grab. I mean, if I was looking at stuff, Probably what I would do. SpaceX goes public. Yeah, we're supposed to have SpaceX, OpenAI IPOs this year. All right, guys, here we go. Anyone holding Meta calls? I have Meta shares, not calls. I don't like options as much. I like shares better. Netflix has fallen down, though. So is PayPal. So is HD. I mean, all of those. I don't like it. You don't love to see it. Probably buy a little bit more here of... Gauge NVIDIA earnings. When are NVIDIA earnings? NVIDIA earnings are going to be coming out February 25th for NVIDIA earnings. Oh. And again, tomorrow, guys, we got big earnings this week. Tomorrow, we got in the morning MasterCard, Caterpillar, Nokia, Lockheed Martin, Apple. Thursday, tomorrow, January 29th, Apple at 4:30. We also have SNDK, which has been on wild runs too. So AI will be making movies. Yeah, but I think Netflix, is going to get involved in that as well. All right, what do you think hurts? What do you think it hurts Netflix or helps Netflix if AI creates movies? Do you think it hurts Netflix, or do you think that helps them? I'm bullish on Meta long term. Short term, I have no idea what it's going to do. Long term, I'm pretty bullish though. Yeah, it's going to have better margins. They're not going to have to pay all these super expensive editors and actors and all these different things. Like, their margins are going to get noticeably better with the entering of AI. Yeah, it saves them money. They can get a collection of AI movies, and it's much cheaper than having to fund them like they're doing now, which is noticeably different. We'll see. It becomes about discoverability, which they are industry leaders of, so it helps them. Yeah, exactly. Like, they're going to have more content for cheaper, in my opinion. Again, Tesla's obviously said to benefit from AI. Meta's said to benefit from AI. Yeah, I think we're a few years from decent AI movies as well, but that comes faster than you think. And in stock market terms, that's what people are generally betting on, is the future in terms of outlook. And so even though, people are betting on that growth, might not come tomorrow, but it might come next year. And if it does, that's still worthwhile for some people to get in now ahead of the big run, if it happens. As always, guys, not an investment professional. Again, remember, I'm not an investment professional. We're not liable for anything you see on the stream. Do not copy me. I'm not an investment professional. Understand all this stuff on screen. I can't guarantee a freaking thing. Do not copy me. No. Understand CFTC 4.41. Hypothetical or simulated performance varies, guys. Again, look at Meta start to push up. Tesla push it up as well, but they're very stagnant. They're very flat ahead of the drop in 11 minutes for their earnings. People will notice and stop watching. Out of all the Mag 7s, which one do you think is the least overvalued at the moment? Let me see. Meta's PE is only about 33. Microsoft's PE ratio is what? Microsoft's 33 to 34. I know Nvidia's is up there. Nvidia's is 46. I know Tesla's PE ratio probably isn't good right now just based off of the EPS. Yeah, Tesla's is 200 plus right now. Fairly 12-month PE. Google's probably pretty good though. Yeah, Google's got 32 to 33. They're all pretty much even in terms of value, in terms of earnings versus price. Amazon's 34s. I'll have to go look. But they're all pretty even. What's Apple's PE ratio? That's another good one. Apple's about 34 too. Most on the Mag 7 are about 34 PE right now. I know Nvidia earnings is next month, but what these guys confirm on CapEx will help gauge. Yeah, CapEx is going to be the story of the day, right? How much they're spending on future AI, how bullish companies are on AI, you know, is gauged by how much they're spending on it potentially. And CapEx, which is capital expenditures, is going to be a relevant story for this today. Again, we got 9 minutes. 9 minutes. But it's going to be a story. Like, don't get it twisted. It's going to be a story. Yeah, we got the market on close numbers about to show. Again, after the closing bell, big tech drops. So be ready. How long after the bell? So the numbers are set to release right at the close. Microsoft specifically is right at 4 p.m. Meta, Tesla are right at 4:05. I believe IBM's at 4:10 market time. So all of them are within 10 minutes after the closing bell. Microsoft's the biggest one that drops right at 4 p.m. in 8 minutes specifically. Meta and Tesla drop technically at 4:05, but again, they could release it any time, so it doesn't necessarily mean anything yet. Like, they could release this right at 4:05 or right at 4 p.m. for all of them. So it's too early to tell as of now. Amazon undervalued. I like Amazon as well. I think Amazon has one of the hardest, like, okay. I think Amazon, their business specifically, the convenience of their business makes it incredibly useful. And I think I am a big bull in Amazon because of that. Again, I think the whole world is becoming dependent on Amazon shipping. You know, and I think this is very self-evident. This is very obvious. So I'm bullish on Amazon, obviously, but short term, who knows what's going to happen to it. Yeah, I think Amazon's one of the easier looks, you know. I'm not saying it's undervalued. It's still got around the same PE as all the other ones. Man, they're a behemoth in terms of companies. And I think their business model shows no signs of becoming obsolete either. I don't know how you could make it obsolete. And that's not necessarily the same thing with some of the other Mag 7 stocks. Other Mag 7 stocks, you can see businesses pivot away from it. A lot of the other Mag 7 stocks sell things to businesses as well, and you could lose business in that context. There's a lot of things, but Amazon, pretty steady. Again, here's Tesla, Meta. I'm going to put 3 charts up actually here. You got Meta, Microsoft, and Tesla here. Because once the closing bell happens, part of the reason we'll know if the earnings are out is by the stock movement all of a sudden. So we're going to watch all of this. We also have IBM. We have ServiceNow. We have a couple other companies dropping right at the close. Yeah, Amazon Web as well. Super diversified. Microsoft's starting to creep up, though, ahead of the earnings. Again, Microsoft's the one that should be dropping right at the closing bell at 4 p.m. Eastern time in 5 minutes. Yeah, the ads that they added to Prime Video are no good. Now, again, people went to streaming to get rid of commercials, and then so they let them use streaming for a few years, get people conditioned to use streaming, and then they add commercials back. Ridiculous. That's the nature of business, though. Again, 5 minutes left, guys. 5 minutes left. Give me your predictions. Beat or miss? Beat or miss? You think big tech will beat or miss mostly today? A majority of the tech earnings dropping today. You think we get beat or misses? You can also put the symbol up and put beat or miss next to the symbol that you think is going to beat or miss. It's your call. Amazon AI will start as a tool and then become the creator. It's already becoming the creator. A lot of the code getting created now is from. All right, here we go, guys. Meta bit, meta beat, Tesla miss. I think a lot of these need a beat and raise scenario. They might go down. You know, I've seen with tech earnings so far this season, tech earnings need a beat and miss scenario. Or no, beat and raise scenario. What I mean by that, I mean they need a beat EPS revenue and raise guidance. Raise CapEx. You know, they need a beat and raise scenario for tech. At least that's what we've seen the last few earnings seasons. And I think that's what we've seen this earnings season as well, at least in the ones that have come out. We've had Netflix come out. It lowered guidance and went down, even though it beat EPS and revenue. And so I think we need a beat and raise scenario where we beat EPS and revenue and raise guidance, CapEx. I'm not shorting these. I don't short the healthiest assets in the world regardless, you know. Everybody likes to short, but again, I'm just not one that, like, people watch The Big Short, romanticize it, and think it's a good idea. It's usually not. So. All right, guys, we got 3.5 minutes. 3.5 minutes. Closing bell is in 3 minutes exactly, guys. 3 minutes exactly. Timer's a little bit early. Like, I like to set it a little bit early so I have time to put it up, but with a beat, it'll be take profit time? Maybe. Depends on what kind of beat. If we beat EPS revenue and raise guidance, probably not. But I think also microchip and tech stocks have somewhat of an unrealistic outlook for them. So. Two and a half minutes, guys. 2.5 minutes. Remember, tomorrow we got jobless claims, unemployment. Friday we have PPI inflation data going live. So, busy times right now. Busy times, guys. 2 minutes left, guys. 2 minutes. In 2 minutes. Meta break it down a little bit. It's at 670s here. Microsoft at 483s. Tesla at 432s. Flushing. So again, Microsoft's technically scheduled to drop right at the closing bell at 4 p.m. The other ones could drop anytime, really. But again, Microsoft's set to drop right at 4 p.m. It's expected at $388 a share on $80.16 billion in revenue. Again, $388 a share. Again, Tesla, Meta set to drop at 4:05 p.m. IBM, I think it's 4:10. We'll cover all of it when it comes out. We'll cover ServiceNow and all the earnings. Again, Tesla, Microsoft, Meta, all live. Here we go. 45 seconds, guys. 45 seconds. Again, you'll be able to see what the earnings are out based off of how big they move, up or down. So, time. Here we go, guys. We got 25 seconds until the closing bell. Again, we should have Microsoft live right at the open, or right at the close. All right, here we go, guys. Here's the closing bell. Here's Microsoft on the right side. Here we go. All right. A lot of stuff dropping at the closing bell today. Microsoft, Meta, Tesla, both dropping substantially at the close. A lot of stuff dropped at the close. Let's see if We get some action here. Here's Microsoft on the right, Meta in the middle, Tesla on the left side here. And again, they could really release it anytime. Again, waiting here. Waiting. Bunch of different sources up. Check this. But you should see the movement on Microsoft and Tesla. Tesla's starting to whip a little bit here, though. Microsoft hasn't moved. Tesla hasn't really moved either. Here's Meta. Okay, there's Microsoft. Microsoft numbers are definitely out. They're at 460s right now for Microsoft. All right, so bear with me. Again, Microsoft numbers are definitely out right now. They're all the way down to 461. Microsoft out. Second quarter EPS 516. Second quarter revenue 8127. Again, Microsoft is out. Again, Microsoft is out. Again, 516 EPS versus Microsoft second quarter revenue 8127 versus 8031. So good revenue for Microsoft. Second quarter cloud revenue. Again, what was the expected number for Microsoft? Look at Meta is out as well. Microsoft is expected at 388. I'm showing. I'll have to see what the adjusted number is, but look at Meta dump here. Microsoft 516 EPS, second quarter revenue 81.27 billion from Microsoft, and it's down negatively on this report. And Meta, let's check Meta's numbers here. Again, bear with me. Meta's dumping down here. Meta just posted 888 versus 802. 59.89 billion versus 58.4 billion in revenue. First quarter revenue 53.5 to 56 versus 51 expected. So Meta just beat a bunch of different stuff, and it's down substantially here. So again, Meta just beat a bunch of stuff. It's down substantially. Tesla's not out yet. Again, Tesla's not out yet. But man, what a big drop for Meta. It seemed pretty good. We'll get some more numbers on these pretty soon. Again, Meta, Microsoft are out. Microsoft is tumbling down here. Let's get a little bit more in details. But man, Microsoft second quarter Azure and other cloud revenue up 38%. They expected 38%. Again, Meta posted 888 versus 819. Expected revenue of 59.89 versus 58.42. Advertising revenue 58.14 versus 56.79 billion. I'll put some of this up on screen. But man, Tesla's not out. Tesla technically scheduled for 2 minutes from now. We'll see what it looks like. But both of these are down, even though they beat EPS and revenue. And specifically, Meta raised guidance. So again, Meta sees CapEx 115 to 135 billion. They expected 110. Total expenses 162 to 169 billion. They expected 151 billion. So maybe higher expenses dragging Meta down here. Maybe. Again, here's the CapEx for Meta on the screen right now. We're still waiting here, but here's the CapEx. $115 to 135. Microsoft again tumbling down. Microsoft numbers are out. Again, Microsoft numbers are out. They posted 516 EPS that I'm showing here. Let me make sure. 81.27 billion in revenue, 80.131 expected. So they beat revenue as well. Cloud revenue 32.9. They expected 32.4 roughly. So better than expected. Those maybe we'll rebound here. Again, Meta guides for 2026 CapEx 115 to 135 billion. You can kind of see that on screen here. Again, they beat revenue, they beat EPS. So again, I like I said, man, I think earnings were a little strict on these today, bro. Like, I think earnings were a little strict on some of these. Market's kind of strict on some of these right now. Again, Meta beaten, raised. Microsoft basically being raised. Here's Tesla's numbers. They just came out. You know, Tesla's numbers are 50 cents a share EPS versus 45 expected here. So here's Tesla's numbers right here on screen. Here, let me make this a little bit smaller. But Tesla numbers are out. Tesla just posted 50-cent EPS. I'll put this up on screen down there. Again, Tesla is out with their numbers. Tesla's down on these. We'll see if they hold. But Tesla 50-cent EPS versus 45 cents expected. Revenue of 24.9 billion. They expected 24.77 billion expected. And so again, they're down. Meta's starting to fight its way back up here. Again, you can see Tesla's numbers. I kind of have a bad. Let me fix this window a little bit more. But yeah. So here's Tesla's numbers. You can see them on the blue thing here. Q4 adjusted EPS 50 cents. Tesla's starting to go up a little bit. So is Meta. Microsoft's still struggling here. There's Tesla starting to creep up here. And again, let's take a look at some of the other numbers for Tesla. Again, Tesla's starting to creep up. Tesla says in 2026, we further invested in the infrastructure needed to support clean energy and transportation and autonomous robots. First generation production lines for Optimus are being installed in anticipation of volume production. Cybercab, Tesla, Semi, and Megapack 3 are on schedule for volume production starting in 2026, is what they said. So this is probably boosting Tesla up here. Look at the this news boosting it. And again, Tesla BDPS and revenue. They said in 2026 we'll further invest in the infrastructure needed to support clean energy and transportation and autonomous robots. First generation production lines for Optimus are being installed in anticipation of volume production. Cybercab, Tesla Semi, and Megapack 3 on schedule for this year in 2026. So again, this is their statement. Tesla reacting really well to this. Look at the pops. Markets are, look at Tesla jump on this 446s right now for Tesla. Again, Tesla says preparation can continue in North America for production ramps of Tesla Semi and Cybercab, both commencing first half of 2026. Plan to begin Megapack 3 and Mega Block production at Mega Factory in Houston. In quarter 1 of this year, we plan to unveil the Gen 3 version of Optimus on January 16th, entering an agreement to invest $2 billion to acquire shares of Series E preferred stock of XAI. And again, Tesla jumping on these news. Again, Microsoft's starting to rebound, now technically green. Meta's starting to rebound, now technically green. Microsoft's still a little red, though. We did have Lamb Research and ServiceNow that just released. We'll put these numbers up in chat. There's ServiceNow. Again, we'll put all these numbers up in chat. Here's Tesla. Las Vegas Sands just dropped. Tesla's pushing up to 448s right now. Again, Tesla says starting this quarter, transitioning access to full self-driving supervised to monthly subscriptions only as we begin to sunset upfront payment options. Expect both domestic cathode material in Texas and LFP lines in Nevada begin production in 2026. So, again, just to recap Tesla. Tesla says in quarter 1 of 2026, we plan to more than double size of on-site compute in Texas in terms of H100s. Gen 3 versions of Optimus started production planned before year end. Eventually planned capacity of 1 million robots per year. We're planning on building Cortex 2 at Gigafactory to increase our AI training compute capacity. Microsoft down 7% is slowly regaging. Yeah, Microsoft, Tesla green. Microsoft slightly climbing back up here. And again, IBM just dropped their numbers just now. So IBM just released. Here's their numbers right here for IBM. They posted 586 EPS versus 428. Expected revenue of 19.7 billion. They expected 19.2 billion. So IBM beat as well. Microsoft killed, but run tomorrow. Yeah, that might be true. Again, look at Meta rip up 695s right now. So interesting. We'll see what we get. Honestly, we're getting pretty close. Again, do me a favor, subscribe. I'm gonna throw it in sub only mode. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We do this live every day. We don't sell a course, don't sell a service. Everything's free. And yeah, we appreciate the love, guys. I was supposed to put it in sub only mode before the close. But, or before closing bell, but that's all right. Look at Meta, almost $700 a share. I'm in Meta right now. It's got to help in my portfolio today. It kind of needs it. Silver's still boosting my portfolio as well, though. Again, so Meta. Let's take a look at this again. Meta posted 888. They expected 819. Revenue at 59.9. They expected 58.3 or 4. Microsoft posted 516. They expected 392. Revenue of 81.3. They expected 80.28. So Microsoft really beat. Operating income was 38.3 billion. They expected 32.9 billion. Cloud revenue 50 billion. Personal computing 14.3 billion. And again, Tesla did 50 cent EPS versus 45 cents expected. Revenue of 24.9. They expected 24.77. Again, Google is pushing up a little bit on this. We are seeing some tech increases here, but we're pretty close to breaking. What are we close to break? Yeah, we need 25 subscribers to break 169,000. Do it now. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. A lot of stuff going on right now. You guys red or green on the day? Again, Tesla said starting this quarter, transitioning access to full self-driving to monthly subscriptions. Only as we begin to sunset upfront payment options, expect both domestic cathode material in Texas and LFP lines in Nevada to begin production this year in 2026. They also said we plan to double the size. Again, they said in 2026, in the first half, we plan to more than double the size of on-site compute in Texas. Gen 3 version of Optimus started production plan before the end of this year, and eventual planned capacity of up to 1 million robots per year. We're currently building Cortex 2 at Gigafactory Texas to further increase our AI training compute capacity. So, interesting. And Tesla posted 50 cents versus 45 cents. We do have Meta earnings. Yeah, we'll see what we get. We'll see what we get. Like things might hold here. Again, remember tomorrow, guys. We have jobless claims, unemployment. Again, jobless claims, unemployment tomorrow, 8:30 standard time. So that should be interesting. And yeah, guys. The last jobs report we did. Get another jobs report coming live tomorrow. Got to see what's expected. Again, I initially read reactions. Microsoft's still red. Yeah, so the market's still kind of red here. Tesla doing well. BDPS and revenue. CapEx was raised too. Yeah, we'll see what we get for the rest of it, but again, be here tomorrow, guys. I'm gonna go. I've been streaming literally all day, so I'm gonna cut out of here. I appreciate you guys spending your day with me, though. Thanks so much. Y'all be good. Have a great day. Love to all of you guys. Thanks for joining me on the stream here. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go hang out now. Again, let's see what happens for the rest of the day. Y'all want to watch our earnings call? Just go to the website. You know. Yeah, later, Chad. Have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Appreciate the love, guys. Remember, not an investment professional. We are not liable if you lose. Make your own assessment. Trade smart. Can't guarantee anything. Jobless claims, unemployment. Again, live tomorrow, 8:30. See you guys over there.